Today, I'm talking about RJ Smith and Lori Marshall. I felt that it's necessary to do these two parts together in the same video because they're actually intertwined cases. So on May 23rd, 2021, a cell phone repair company in Conway, Arkansas contacted the Conway Police Department because in the process of repairing a phone, they were closing out apps and came across photos that they felt like could possibly be CSAM. The police were actually at the phone repair shop talking to the technicians that were there about the device when the owner, RJ Smith, showed up to pick up his phone. The police just told RJ, like, hey, you can't have your cell phone. It has CSAM on it. And RJ was like, I haven't used that phone in 8 months. The police did note that he didn't seem shocked that it was on there. He didn't deny that it was on there. He just said he hadn't used the phone in 8 months. So RJ Smith left without his cell phone, and police did seek a search warrant. They eventually did get the search warrant, and when searching the phone, and guys, this is truly awful. When searching the phone, they found several images of multiple nude underage girls. The photos looked like they were taken in a locker room, and in the background of the photos, they could see chairs that had Little Johns written on them. According to the investigator, the photos looked like they were screenshots of a video that was taken from a very low angle, and the photos depicted what the investigator believed were girls from ages 13 to 17 that were in various states of undress, and multiple girls that were just completely nude in this locker room. The investigator did reach out to the police chief in Danville, where the Danville Little Johns are, and asked if there was an RJ Smith or a Ryan Smith that they'd ever had contact with, or that the police chief had information about. And the police chief was able to tell the investigator that Ryan Smith was a basketball coach at Danville before he resigned in 2020 due to allegations of inappropriate conduct. The allegation stemmed from a parent of a 15-year-old finding inappropriate messages on that 15-year-old's phone from Ryan Smith that said Ryan knew what he was doing was wrong, but he was so in love with her. In the messages, Ryan Smith did say things like that he trusted the 15-year-old to not tell on him, and that he had instructed her to delete all the messages that they had shared back and forth. The parents of that child did say that they turned over those messages in the summer of 2020, and that Ryan Smith's teaching license was eventually revoked in late 2020. In addition to the text messages with that 15-year-old, there were several text messages that investigators found that Ryan Smith sent to several members of the basketball team, where he is inviting them to adult parties, and he is asking them for nude photos of themselves. And investigators do say that some of the conversation is extremely explicit. Ryan Smith had what police felt like was over 100 images of young girls in various states of undress on his cell phone, but he was charged with 35 counts of CSAM. And it seems like this would be the end of this case, but really it's just the beginning of another issue, because that wasn't the only thing that investigators found on Ryan Smith's phone. And is the case with other teachers that I have done videos about or that I have researched about. Teachers seem to go from one place to another, one school district to another. If they're not charged, they will absolutely go to another school district and start over there. So police officers did discover that before going to Danville, Ryan Smith was actually a coach at the Horatio School District. You might wonder why he didn't stay at the Horatio School District, but it's because there were allegations of inappropriate conduct. But those allegations really didn't go anywhere except for Ryan Smith resigning from his position and going to another school district. While sifting through all of the information that was on Ryan RJ Smith's cell phone, police officers actually found something that they never thought that they would. They were inappropriate conversations between Ryan Smith and an adult female. And in those conversations, Ryan Smith was arranging to have a sexual encounter simultaneously with the woman's 15-year-old daughter and the woman herself. Ryan Smith tells this woman what his fantasy is that he wants to do to her 15-year-old and her at the same time. And the woman sends back explicit details of what she feels like Ryan Smith should do to her 15-year-old daughter and her. That adult woman that Ryan Smith was texting those things to about her 15-year-old daughter was actually Lori Marshall. And Lori Marshall was employed at the Horatio School District as a elementary school teacher. I cannot see that this encounter ever occurred, but it is just horrific that a teacher that you put in charge of children would, one, take inappropriate videos of girls that are having to undress because of this class at school or because they're basketball players, however you want to put that. And then also the same connection, the same case, have this woman who is a teacher who is put in charge of children to say such vile things and offer up her own daughter like that is just so disturbing to me. So like I said, in Conway, Ryan Smith was arrested and charged with 35 counts of possessing CSAM. In Conway, Ryan pled guilty to 4 counts of possessing CSAM, and the rest of the counts were dropped. So in Faulkner County, Conway, Ryan Smith was sentenced to 10 years in the ADC on each of the first 3 charges and to 5 years on the 4th charge. And those were set to run consecutively, so 35 years in the Arkansas Department of Corrections. But that case was set to run concurrently with the cases in Sevier County and Yell County. In Yell County, where the school is, Danville, Ryan Smith was charged with 15 counts of possessing CSAM and 2 counts of video voyeurism. In that case, Ryan Smith also pled guilty to 3 counts of possessing CSAM. All of the other charges were dropped, and he was sentenced to 10 years in the Arkansas Department of Correction on each of the first 2 charges and 5 years on the 3rd charge. And those 3 were to run consecutive to each other for a total of 25 years. In Sevier County, which I'm probably mispronouncing, please correct me, Ryan Smith was charged with attempted internet stalking of a child, and he pled guilty to that charge. He was sentenced to 10 years in the Arkansas Department of Corrections. In Sevier County, Lori Marshall was charged with 1 count of attempted internet stalking of a child, and she received 4 years probation for that charge, which I kind of find interesting because it actually carries a sentence of 3 to 10 years, but okay. Lori Marshall and Ryan Smith will both have to register as sex offenders. Now, Lori Marshall is not in prison because she only received probation, but you will not find her name on the Arkansas Sex Offender Registry because the registry only contains people that are level 3 or 4 and some 2s. So if a person is deemed to be under that level, you're not going to find them on there, even though they were made to register as a sex offender. I think that they are on registries that police can see, but not the general public, which makes absolutely no sense to me. It infuriates me because you should be able to look at the registry and see every person that has been convicted of a crime and is forced to register as a sex offender, not just specific ones, in my opinion. And also, if you look at that registry, there are so many people on there that are homeless. So they don't even have addresses for those people. But that's probably another video for a different day. So as for RJ Ryan Smith, he was sentenced to basically a total of 35 years in the ADC. He is in prison right now. He is set to go up for parole at the end of 2028. That doesn't mean that he'll be released then. It just means that he'll be evaluated for release then, and maybe they release him, maybe they don't.